Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Ragasudha, Head and Assistant Professor, Department of Microbiology, Government City College, is here to talk on microbial interactions. The major type of microbial interaction is symbiosis. Symbiosis is an association of two or more different species or two species living together is known as symbiosis. This symbiosis can be of three types: ectosymbiosis, endosymbiosis, and ecto or endosymbiosis. Ectosymbiosis, here the organisms, one of the organism is located on the surface of the another organism. It is known as ectosymbiont. In this case, the ectosymbiont is usually a smaller organism located on the surface of a larger organism. Endosymbiosis, one organism can be located within the another organism, is known as endosymbiont. Ecto or endosymbiosis, microorganisms living on both the inside and outside of another organism. Example for this is Thiothrix species, a sulfur using bacterium which is attached to the surface of mayfly larvae and which itself contains a parasitic bacterium. Another example, fungi associated with plant roots like mycorrhizal fungi often contains endosymbiotic bacteria as well as having bacteria living on their surface. Symbiotic relationships can be intermittent and cyclic or permanent. Symbiotic interactions do not occur independently. Each time a microorganism interacts with another organism and their environments, a series of feedback responses occurs in the larger biotic community that will impact other parts of the ecosystem. Here we can see different types of microbial interactions like mutualism where both the associated species or organisms are benefited. Cooperation, both live in cooperation with each other. Commensalism, only one organism is benefited. Predators, they feed on the prey. Parasitism, they live inside a host. Amensalism, then competition. Positive interactions are mutualism, proto-cooperation and commensalism. Negative interactions are predation, parasitism, amensalism and competition. First, let us see the positive interactions like mutualism. Mutus means borrowed or reciprocate, defines the relationship in which some reciprocate benefit occurs to both partners. Relationship with some degree of obligations. Partners cannot live separately. Mutualists and hosts are dependent on each other. Example for mutualism is the protozoan termite relationship. Flagellate protozoa live in the gut of termites and wood roaches. These flagellates exist on a diet of carbohydrates acquired as cellulose ingested by their host. Protozoa engulf wood particles, digest the cellulose and metabolize it to acetate and other products. Termites oxidize the acetate released by these flagellates. Because the host is always incapable of synthesizing cellulase enzymes, it is dependent on the mutualistic protozoa for its existence. Another good example for mutualism is lichens. Lichens are the association between specific Ascomycetes fungi and either green algae or cyanobacteria known as phycobiont. The characteristics morphology of a given lichen is the property of mutualistic association and is not exhibited by either symbiont individually. Because the phycobiont is a photoautotrophs depend on light, carbon dioxide and certain mineral nutrients, whereas the fungus can get its organic carbon directly from the algae or cyanobacterium. In turn, the fungi protects the phycobiont from excess light intensities, provides water and minerals to it and creates a firm substratum within which the phycobiont can grow protected from environmental stress. Another Example or another term included under mutualism is syntrophism. Syn means together, trophy means nutrition. It is an association in which the growth of one organism either depends on or is improved by the growth factors, nutrients, or substrates provided by other growing nearby organisms. Sometimes both organisms are benefit. This type of mutualism is known as cross feeding or satellite phenomenon. The next term is proto-cooperation. It is also a positive association, a positive symbiosis which involves syntrophy. One organism lives off the byproducts of another relationship. Here, this relationship benefits both the organisms, differs from mutualism because cooperative relationship is not obligate, means the organisms can live independently. Example for proto-cooperation is a marine worm bacterial proto-cooperative relationship. The worm secrete mucus from tiny glands on their backs to feed the bacteria, and in turn they are protected by some degree of insulation. Another good example for proto-cooperation is quorum sensing auto-induction. It is a phenomenon where the accumulation of signaling molecules enable a single cell to sense the number of bacteria. The microorganisms produce specific auto-inducer compounds, and as the population increases and the concentration of these compounds reaches critical level, specific genes are expressed. This factor, actually quorum sensing, is very important in disease causing, where it increases the number of bacteria at a particular location and thus increases the rate of infectivity by that particular species or organism on a host cell. The most common signals in gram-negative bacteria are acyl homoserine lactonase. Gram-positive bacteria often use an oligopeptide signal as a signaling agent which aggregates all the bacteria at a particular location. The next term is commensalism. Com means together, mensa means stable. It is a relationship in which one symbiont, the commensal, benefits while the other is neither harmed nor benefited. When the commensal is separated from its host experimentally, it can survive without being provided some factors from the host. Commensalistic relationship between microorganisms includes situations in which the waste product of one microorganism is a substrate for another species. Commensalistic associations also occur when one microbial group modifies the environment and makes it more suitable for the another organism. Example for commensalism is intestinal microorganisms in human colon, where oxygen is used up by the facultative anaerobic E. coli. Obligate anaerobes such as bacteroids are able to grow in the colon. Microbial succession during spoilage of milk. Fermenting bacteria promote growth of acid tolerant species. Another example is formation of biofilms. Initial colonizers help other microorganisms to attach. Skin or surface microbes on plants and animals. Host plant or animal releases some volatile, soluble and particulate organic compounds used by the commensals. That's all about positive interactions. Next, moving on to negative interactions. Under negative interaction, we will be coming across predation, parasitism, amensalism and competition. Predation: when one organism, the predator, engulfs or digests the another organism, the prey. The prey can be larger or smaller than the predator, and this normally results in the death of the prey. Example: Dello vibrio, a periplasmic predator that penetrates the cell wall and grows outside the plasma membrane. Another example: Vampyrococcus, with its unique epibiotic mode of attacking a prey bacterium. Daptobacter, showing its cytoplasmic locations as it attacks a susceptible bacterium. Predation: it has beneficial effect like digestion. Example: the microbial loop. Protects and increases fitness. survival and increases pathogenicity, the intracellular survival of Legionella ingested by ciliates. Parasitism. The population that benefits the parasite derives its nutritional requirements from the host which is harmed. It can involve physical maintenance in or on the host, characterized by relatively long period of contact. Parasitism or predation. In microbial world, the distinction between parasitism and predation is not sharp. Depending on the equilibrium between the two organisms, this may shift, and what might be a stable parasitic relationship may then become a pathogenic one, which can be defined as predation. The next term is amensalism, a relationship in which the product of one organism has negative effect on the other organisms. The production of antibiotics that can inhibit or kill susceptible microorganisms. Example, bacteriocins, it is a proteinaceous toxin produced by bacteria with antimicrobial toxicity. Bacteriocins target other strains of the same species, but some are more broad spectrum. The next term is competition. Competition arises when different microorganisms within a population or community try to acquire the same resources or same nutrients, whether this is physical location or a particular limited nutrient. This principle is of competition was studied by E. F. Gauss, who in 1934 described this as the competitive exclusion principle, when competition between species results in the elimination of one species from the given habitat or region. Thank you.